Committee meeting to order. We only have one order of business here, and this is to actually vote on the search firm. I'll go ahead and let you know now that we will have to, my request is to ask for a suspension of the rules once we start the board meeting, which is after the work session, and that's intentional because I think the work session stuff is pretty heavy, so I want everybody to be fresh and not like dull by the time we got to the good stuff. Because we didn't tee it up to notice for a vote, but I will ask for a suspension of the rules so that we can vote on the search firm in the meeting so that we can get the ball started on that. Okay, yeah, he just texted me, said he was parking. Okay, so we heard from 3 firms. I can't remember how long ago it was now. 2 weeks now? It feels like a month ago. I know it does. A couple of weeks ago, we had ProAct, Hazard Young and Atia, and Ray and Associates. I have prepared ballots. I just don't know if it's going to be necessary to use them. But thank you, Camille. I appreciate it. So I just want to just go around the table and just ask for some feedback and commentary on the 3, that we had. And I'll start, Amy? You want me to start that in?
No question. No question. I think right off the bat to say.
If you want to pass for now, you can.
Let me pass for now.
All right.
Yeah. Does that mean I'm next?
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I have a real strong feeling about any of them.
What did you say?
I said I don't have a real strong feeling about any of them.
You know, I think on the totality, based on the totality of presentations and then the individual conversations that I had, I think the 2 that rose to the top for me were Hazard, Young and Atia, and Ray and Associates. But I don't have, strong views about, one versus the other.
Okay. Anna?
Again, I'm going to side with my colleague, Mr. Pinkston, in that I think the one for me that rose to the top was Hazard and Atia for a lot of different reasons. My notes are in the car, but from what I can remember, I think that they were probably presented the most realistic picture, I think, than the other ones did. They found us Dr. Register, so I feel like if they could find us, someone, of that caliber, they can do it for us again.
I too liked Hazard, Young and Atia, but I also liked Ray and Associates. So either one of those would be fine with me.
You only get to vote for one, right? Thought I'd throw that out there.
Yes, I would delete the ProAct, and I thought that the other 2 would be more serviceable. I did have a question, and I guess that will follow after we vote. My question, will you accept the question now?
No, I will.
Okay.
I don't know if I can answer it, but I will take
I'm
the
wondering
question.
how we are funding this project.
So we didn't have a line item for this, which is odd, which I think is something we need to kind of consider and remember. I don't know where it goes as that future reminder, but eventually this is a process that has to take place. And so I think we were a little remiss in that. And just, I think, cursory conversations that we do have funds available for it. I can't identify the line item for it, but we do have funds available for it.
Okay.
And just given, based on what they charged us last time, which I believe I was surprised to find was 40 something, and ended up rounding up to an even 50 last time.
I had forgotten whether or not we used additional services after we chose the
Yeah, so I
director.
think it's one of them that talked about the recurring visits that would be available. And it was Hazard, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So all that's included in that initial, what they
In the
offer as part of search.
$45,000? So I did like the fact that you could have some of the sort of Skyping that Ray and Associates and Company offered, but Hazard, Young, and Atia, I'm familiar with them. And so I suppose that would be my number one.
I didn't feel super strong about either. However, Hazard, Young, and Atia has worked with Metro Schools before in the past, and I think they're probably more familiar with us than any of the others. I was a bit nervous with PROAC because they had been released by another district, so that made me nervous. But the others, they seem just as comparable, maybe. So.
I did think that PROAC did a little more in terms of assignments as directors and other staffing, rather their forte is in other staffing positions rather than superintendents.
Right.
And they're new. So, and I think I was told that they were released because the district decided to do in-house.
Yeah.
I don't, that's what I was told. So.
I have a question. So one thing I was going to throw out, Hazard, Young, and Tia also offered to help us on the policy alignment, so that's an option. And I did not get a final figure on that, but I think it was around 20,000.
Yeah, because I think, but that's not right. So that, if we engage them for that, would be in addition to the cost for the search firm. Yeah.
And
But it
then,
is a
and
skill
then
set
they also would
offer.
just follow up the all next year. They said they could come back and work with the board, with the new director.
And the more they return, the costier.
Yeah, there's an extra
it is.
cost. There's a baseline search, and then anything they do on the policies would be extra. Anything they do next year is extra. But the other question I had was, Dr. Register has an affiliation with Hazard, Young, and Atia. So I was wondering if anyone has.
When you say
He's on there.
affiliation.
I think he's on there. He's I can't want to say board of directors. I should have found this out before, I guess. Do you know?
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to say.
Okay.
I think it's important to put on the table something about Hazard, Young, and Atia, just to acknowledge it, and doesn't really make a difference to me, but they have a practice of keeping a large stable of superintendents on their consulting payroll. I think they call them associates, and they advise on searches, and from time to time, some of these people who are on the payroll, in consulting payroll, end up becoming candidates, in searches that Hazard is conducting. I got an email, constituent email about this last week, kind of flagging it, and there have been news stories around the country about kind of this firm and that practice. Again, it doesn't really bother me, but that, I think, is what Ms. Frog was referencing. I went back and looked at the clips, and Dr. Register was an associate of the firm at the time the search was conducted in late 2008 or early 2009. So I just think that's something to be aware of, to acknowledge, and doesn't give me heartburn, but I think some people may have some concerns about it.
But I don't know that it's an aberrant practice.
Right.
Just not, it's probably more formal with HYA. I'm pretty sure that
Right.
other large firms reach
I mean,
out
would he
to-
be involved in the search, I guess, is what I'm wondering.
and
He
you
would just.
And you could definitely,
Okay.
it would be our position to say, well, who are you using as consultants, and we don't expect
Okay.
Right.
I was just curious.
our current one to be involved in that process.
Okay.
I mean, I think it would be, if that ends up, we need to do that.
Okay.
I think that might be a plus, though, because that way of keeping, the directors of schools as a consultant in their practice, then that would give them their finger on the pulse as knowing, who's available, what their skill set is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why
what our
they use
needs
them.
are, right.
Yeah.
Yes, and like I said, I'm sure other firms do it. There's probably more
Right.
formal than others. Anything else? Any other thoughts, commentary, questions, concerns?
On Ree and Associates, they recently placed Knoxville, is that right, with Jim
Knoxville.
McIntyre? And I
Recently
heard-
placed
Well, how
Knoxville.
long ago was Knoxville?
in Oak Ridge.
Okay.
The last one.
So I think it was just a little, also question looking, it was making sure they handle districts the size of ours, I mean, in
In urban
cities.
districts. Yeah, that was my
But I did
concern.
really
That
like
was one
them.
of the
I did like
ones.
Ray.
All right. Any other thoughts? So can we just do this as a hand vote? Although these are some cute little pieces of paper that I'm just not feeling the piece of paper.
I don't think we can just do it ballot like that.
No. Okay, so we're gonna do it in reverse order, and I'll use this to tally. I'm gonna use one of them, and I'm gonna keep these pieces of paper and use them for something before it's all said and done. So, all interested in PROACT? Yeah. Hazard, Young, and Atia? Wow. That's 1, 2.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, okay, here we go. 9.
We all agreed on something.
Can I get that? Print it, record it, and can you like mix it in the video when it plays back?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Okay, I'm adjourn. Meeting adjourned. No, I'm just kidding. Next up. So I am going to have to ask in the meeting. So we're going to do the work session, as I mentioned before. I'm just repeating this. The work session first, because I think those topics are pretty heavy, and I want us to be fresh. Then we'll go into our meeting. We have a couple of, and then we have a teacher appeal after that. But I am going to have to ask for a suspension of the rules in the board meeting so that we can actually approve this committee decision, so that we can move forward and not have to wait until March the 9th to do the engagement. Okay, fair enough? All right, yes.
Just to ask, that's not a problem with the press because it wasn't notified, we haven't notified the press that we're going to vote on this?
Not to my knowledge, we can consult somebody, but no.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay.
It's a Robert's Rules thing. All right, anything else? Okay, we're officially adjourned.